Yes, hello, and welcome to this special edition of a webinar, you might say, with Greg Payton from the DOS Arboretum, where we're going to, yes, hello, Greg, thank you. Greg is going to share his insight into how to set up your Index Seminum catalog, how to prepare and record the different steps through building up a seed catalog that you can share with your other gardens. So we here have a copy of the DOS Arboretum, and then we're going to do this by preparing for the new seed, new catalog. And all the stuff regarding Index Seminum and seed catalogs happening here under the store section down at the bottom here. Before I go on, I'll just let Greg say a few words about their work regarding collecting seeds and sharing seeds with other institutions.
Sure. Yeah, DAWS is one of the ever-shrinking numbers of gardens that still produces a seed list. It's something that's very popular in Europe, but less and less so in the States. We feel it a service to the community of the world to collect plants in the wild and offer them for free to other botanical gardens and arboretum throughout the world. We have probably at least 20 to 30 countries that order seeds from us every year. And this has been a long standing thing we've done, and very happy to continue doing it. So when we're out in the wild collecting plants, we'll often grab more, I say pedantic, but plants that isn't necessarily something we need, but just to offer to the folks in the community that might want them. So oftentimes there are extras of things we collect for ourselves, but we basically only offer wild origin material because that's basically all we would want to order from other Index Seminum sources, because garden origin plants obviously for a species are not going to be the same from seeds as a clonal propagation. So we feel this our service. Is that clear as mud?
That's beautiful, beautiful. So with Iris, you can either produce. Well, you can always then produce a seed catalog as a PDF or the document that you send out to your visitors, or not visitors, but your contacts. And then you can also go one step further and make it available online. As you can see here now, where this is the Index Seminum online version for the DOS Arboretum that visitors or users can then order their seeds directly. So we're going to go through the, sorry, Greg,
Not just add, this was last year's list, which there is a starting and ending date that you put into this, where you can have the seed list become open for orders and then end after a certain date. And then I just send out my contacts that we share the Index Seminum list with, send them the link to the catalog and share the opening and closing dates, and then they can place orders that then come into my inbox. And there on the right, you can see I also produced the PDF version where it says download seed catalog that a person can download and then view it the old-fashioned way if they're not comfortable ordering it online.
Yeah, exactly. So the point of this recording is to go through the steps to produce a catalog, and then hopefully this will be useful for any of you who are a bit uncertain about the processes needed to achieve that. So let's go back to Iris, and everything is happening here under the section called Store. And the first thing you need to check out before you begin is to go down here under Stores. And normally you will just have one entry here. We had a bit of a discussion before we started here with Greg that if you have, for example, plant sales or other things, you could theoretically use the same approach, basically preparing a sales list of seeds that or other types of material that you want to offer, and that could then end up becoming a catalog for a certain, for example, autumn plant sales or something. But our focus for this particular recording would be a seed catalog, but the same principle will apply. Yeah. Anyway, anyone want to supplement anything here, Greg?
Well, you could mention right there the box that says the predefined customers. You can mention that later on when you're starting to distribute. But this way you could offer it automatically to your contacts that are in Iris, and only allow ordering by those contacts. If it's left open, anybody that has the link is able to order.
Yeah, exactly.
We offer it up, and the idea behind the Index Seminum is usually it's other organizations that offer seed lists so that it's a sharing opportunity. But we have a number of contacts that might just be private individuals that are just very good hobbyists that we go ahead and share seeds with as well.
Okay, yeah. Great. So the next step here is to then start with a new fresh catalog, which happens here under the catalogs. Did I make any changes? No, I didn't. I just clicked on, so we can just carry on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we need to start our new season, and then you do that by clicking here under the catalog edition and go in here.
Create a new edition.
Yeah, so we'll just create 2018 here now. There is, 2018. There are some discussions about, so we need to then say, I will just do this first and then. So we're going to prepare it. So these are the states. So this basically indicates whether you are preparing it, obviously, whether it's open so that you can receive orders and tweak the different things. And then when it's closed, it's not open for any more changes at all, neither orders nor other changes. So we're going to set it in preparation. And here you could also fill in the maximum number of entries each customer can order. So you've slightly become more conservative over the years there, I see, Greg.
Well, I mean, it depends, how many seeds we have. If it feels like it's a lot of things, then we'll allow more orders.
Yeah. So this year we're doing 12 again, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, but the valid from and valid to is where on the website it allows you to start ordering and when ordering ends. And we have a team of volunteers that fill the orders, and we try to conscript them during a period of months in the late winter, early spring. So we usually set a time frame for that to occur. And
yeah, so we'll just do it like this.
Ending in April sometime, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked the calendar, but you can. That might be, I don't know. We're just doing this for the time being, and that
could be a weekend. We don't know. Yeah.
For the sake of brevity. Okay, so now we have the catalog going. We can go in here, and now we're then going to select the seeds that we want to add to that catalog. We haven't recorded any seeds yet, so that's what's happening down here in the stock items. So now we can go down there and do that.
Yeah, so the first step is to have a catalog, because then with your stock items, your seeds that you're offering, you have to add them to a catalog.
Exactly, yeah. So now we go to the stock items, basically seeing what do we have of seeds. And then there are two approaches. You could either take seeds from your accession, so some gardens accession the seeds that they collect, or you could just record directly here by just filling in the taxon name that you have collected without any reference to the accessions. So that's sort of the basically, or you can combine the two. Some gardens offer seeds that are collected in the garden, and then it's of course quite useful to associate with the accession you actually collected the seeds from. But in your case, Greg, your focus is well collected material.
Correct, and we accession all material coming in, whether it's to be sold in plant sales or distributed as seeds. It all gets accessioned because there's always something that comes back that I have to have a record of it.
Yeah.
And there are 3 fields in here that have to be filled out for any of the records. It's the store code that he's on right now, so we're going to say it's the Index Seminum store. The origin box right there, it has to come from one of these seed lists, so the one we just created. Actually, no, you have to hit the yeah, there you go. You have to create a new origin in this case. So we need a 2018 seed list, and this will be a category on your inventory that shows the season the seeds were collected. So if I'm offering leftover seeds from 2017, I can select that, and they'll be grouped accordingly, showing that they're fresher or older seeds. Or if you wanted cultivated seeds, you see I have an option in there because every once in a while we'll have a plant that probably hasn't cross-pollinated, but is some interesting seeds that we can offer.
Yeah. So in the gardens who have, just from, you have that one group catalog. Yeah.
Right.
So this is basically sorry.
No, I was just going to say you can, you can tailor this to your heart's desire. Many lists will have seeds from the greenhouses or from conservatories. So you can have, so you see the 2014 Wild Origin seed list that it listed right there. That's that heading that we're looking at right now. But yeah, so you could have part 1, part 2, part 3, and then say seeds from the arboretum, seeds from the wild, seeds from the greenhouse, seeds from the cold storage. Just whichever pattern you like to follow.
Yeah. And then the other thing is material type. That's the third thing we need to fill out.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
And then we just
some kind of plant. Yeah. No, just some kind of plant, whether it's accessioned or not.
Exactly. So now we're going to go into the records here, and what we're going to do, because Greg has already accessioned his material, we can look for anything that's wild of known origin, and then look for material type seed, and see what we find in this treasure trove. Yeah.
I might have added the year 2018 to that.
Let's do that. Good idea. So we do accession year 2018. We want fresh seeds. We don't want
the ones that have accession this year. Now, if you scroll to the bottom here, there'll be a whole group, right?
You have these projects filled out on many of them, don't you? Is that so? These, for example, they're all part of that.
Correct.
So we can then just select that whole group. So you see here, with a bit of planning, this whole preparation process can be very smooth. As Greg has assigned different projects to these collection trips. So you would know that this is what will be used for the catalog. So I can just click that.
Yeah, I usually have the volunteers go through the seeds. So for these, we keep the seeds in envelopes in cold storage for seeds that can be stored that way for longer periods of time, or in moist papered, Ziploc bags in the cooler for things like acorns and things that should be kept moist. And then the volunteers will give me a list of all the seeds we have and estimated quantities or exact quantities that I can then select those from this list to add to the catalog.
Yep. So we can just save this now, and just for the sake of making it a bit more comprehensive, we can also then record one seed. If you want to add more, you can just go in again and add accession from other accessions, or we can then also record something manually. We're just going to do one here now. That we just
under a taxon name. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, what was it? Did you say hydrangea or something? Was it?
Yeah, do hydrangea radiata.
Yeah. So here we go.
If you don't know that, it's a native plant that the back of the leaf is very white and very, very attractive.
Yeah. Maybe we should just have a quick side walk to have a look at the taxon and see if there are any. Here we go.
Yeah.
So behold, we have some images here.
Expand that a little bit. There you go. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, beautiful. Okay.
That's actually my arm.
Oh yeah, I recognize that. I've seen that before.
Around your throat? No.
Now it's more clasping a bottle of beer. No,
actually, that's true.
So this detail here is when we have imported in accessions that are well collected, we will get the locality information from the accessions. You probably noticed on the actual, if you go back to the seed catalog here, you will see that there is some details about where it was found in the wild, and with that is then pulled from the accession number in this case. But if we don't have an accession, you can also then record locality information here directly, which we will do in this case. We're going to just go in here, and then you can just start recording as you would. But because just for brevity, we have this was another.
And actually, this is like fictional. We just made this up. There is no bear rocks that I know of down there. So.
Okay, exactly. Good. So but assuming we had a collection nearby the other one, we can do a repeat. So we just get and then a bit further away from Xerox, just as a point of.
Something I often do. This is just for a fun note. But when I record information, I will often find a fairly large town that is fairly close to that location, and often give like a cardinal direction. Like I'll say approximately 5 miles east of the town of Jackson, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And the town should be in the same county, just as a point of reference, because oftentimes folks will have county maps.
South of Oak Hill, then. Okay, so we can do that just for.
Yep.
Just to give people a bit of a thing here. So when I save that now, we get a nice little. We can even go 5 miles just for the sake of giving it a bit more. Okay.
And something to point out, this list of localities, if you notice at the top of the window here, it's called stock localities. That is distinct from your accession localities, and that is handy if, say, for example, you want to have a more vague location rather than a detailed location, or even just a list of counties. It just depends how detailed you wish to get on the location of the plant, and then you could list in your offerings that the more detail is available upon request, for example.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So I'm going to save that one, and off we go. So point to mention here as well then is that it's the status for each of these. So these are the kind of thing you manage when you receive orders. So you at some point keep track of what you have. You could also here fill in quantity, and collector and stuff will come from the accession. Yeah. Okay.
Well, actually, on that hydrangea radiata that you just did, if you click down under, see where it says USA right there. I'm pointing at my screen. That doesn't work, but you want this one. Yeah. Now there you could add collector and provenance and that sort of thing, because that's not being pulled from the accessions. So you have to say it's wild origin, and the collectors were Greg Payton and I have Art Ostgaard, for example.
Yeah, we'll put in Greg. Yeah.
There's a few that I've played in there.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. And we are not going to bother with quantity here. So you see, this will remember this basic information between each. So it's a bit handy for sort of data entry, quick data entry. But okay, so let's see. We're now ready. We have a full overview. This is what we have in our fridge or whatever we store it, and we can now start preparing the catalog. So we go back here to the catalogs, and then you basically select the catalog we're going to work with, which is the 2018, and then we just click search, and then we're getting all the things. So what's coming up here is all the ones that are marked as in store. So if you go back to the stock items, there's all the ones that are available. So we didn't have any available for the older years. It's all used up for the older years. So that's why we only get one group here, I think. Yeah.
Right, but if you select stock origin when you do the search, you can even select the 2018s right from there. So that if you had some leftovers from 2017, you could add those in as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So now I can just click save.
Well, you have to select them all. So if you right click off to the side, you can say check all items, and that saves you a bit of work if there's many.
Saves you a few minutes, especially if you have hundreds. And then we now save. So to clarify, if it's not selected here, it won't be added to your catalog.
Correct.
So we want all of them added. So that's. Should we? By the way, should we just add a few from 2017 as well, just to give it a bit more whiz?
Yeah, sure.
If I go back to my stock items and clear here and then search for the 2017 and say that we made a mistake. There were a few things we had stock, so we could say that we had some, this was available, and maybe this one, and we had made a mistake of this rhododendron as well. Okay, so now we can go back to our catalog and then search for 17, search, and then again, same thing, check all. So this is not a checkbox, this is more like telling you what it will happen when you click it. So there we go. Now we added that, so if you now clear and then, I don't know, there might be a refresh button here, but now we get the full catalog in view here.
So you see how they're grouped at the top. You have 3 from 2017, and then you have a bunch from 2018. And you can collapse or expand them.
Yeah. So yeah, so at some point you are happy with your catalog, I suppose, and that's when you click finalize.
Yep. And it's going to warn you that it's going to be set from in prep to open, and that you can't make any further changes unless you go back to your catalog edition up above and put it back to in prep. Then you could add more seeds to it or take seeds out.
Yeah, exactly. So if I now said, oh no, I made a mistake, then you can go in here and change it back like this, and click save.
Yeah, but you would have to then finalize again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have a catalog ready. Now we want to print it, send it, etc. And this happens at the report section, where you under store will have something called store catalog. So this is the catalog that is publishable to...
Yeah, this is if you have your Index Seminum website set up through irisBG, it allows you to upload an XML file to display the list that he showed you earlier from our list. But if you just wanted to print, yeah, that store catalog there might produce like a PDF or some other sort of document that you could just then publish elsewhere.
Should we do that one first, or do you want to go for the? Yeah, see. So just export this to this place here. That's
and you can save it as a spreadsheet. Is there anything
yeah,
else?
Oh yeah, that's what I shouldn't have done. I should have gone for another option. Sorry.
Was there more in there? I don't recall.
Export. We want to do it as a.
Yeah.
Is it the XML same thing here? I wonder.
Yeah, it might be.
Try that. Let's see what happens if I open this. So when you get an XML file, you typically need to. No, it won't work. Sorry, I know it won't work. So. Oh yeah, yeah, it does come out here. Yeah, yeah, you see.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to zoom in, but the publishable catalog is more interesting. So if we go back to this one, and then select the correct year again, 2018, and then you can just do export, and then we say catalog 2018, and then apologize for the spelling here. Yeah, we'll just do it like this. So you will see here there's the European dates and stuff, but hopefully that's okay. Not when you produce it in America, then it will be American dates on things.
Right, because if you know irisBG, the date follows the setting for your PC or your Mac operating system.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it will be Windows on Mac. But so what you need to do then, when you open this catalog, even though it says XML, it's not a document, but you can do open with and then open it in Word anyway. And then it will do some magic. You get some warnings, maybe. I do that. You may not. And if I do that, you will then say, click here to use that style sheet, and then you get your document. And
so there it shows you the number of orders that you set the limit to, and the date that you can start producing, or the ending date that you can last order. And then we had the 3 items from the 2017 list. And starting with number 4, then is the 2018 list, all those things we added. that hopefully you inventoried and actually have, because if you're offering them and you don't have them, then it's not good.
Yeah. And how you could then, if you want to edit this, you just basically go to change it to a Word document if you want to make it look nice.
Right. Or print to PDF or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to add some, text or logos and things like that.
Right. Because I keep a document from the PDF format that I use, and then I will just copy out the seed list portion and paste it into that document each year. Update the information.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have everything. So the next thing is when you get orders coming in, you will go in here. And do you want to say anything about that?
Just that if you use the irisBG site, it makes it so easy because you get emails that tell you that so-and-so has placed an order, where you can then save an invoice, and then you go into here and you say check web orders, and then if there's any orders online made, they get downloaded and you can accept them, and mark items out of stock. You see down there at the, if you've given out the last of your seeds, you can say that one's out of stock, and just link it to a contact in your contact list, add a new contact if necessary, and then from here, once they're accepted, you can go back to reports and print a variety of order labels, packing lists, things like that to go. So you can print the little stick-on Avery tags to go on the envelopes. You can make a packing list that you put in the envelope with the seeds when they're sent. It all looks very professional and makes it very handy. Yeah,
great. I think we might just wrap it up there, because we might just have a secondary small video on if any, or put some forum questions on the finer details on things we went through. Just to wrap up, you start checking that you have the right store in place here, and then when that's in place, you prepare your catalog. You add your new catalog for the year here. One question, there was a question about year. You're calling this 2018. Yeah. So there was a discussion about what is the correct year, because it's going to be made available in 2019. Some gardens might use a different approach to that. Isn't that so, Greg?
Some people will call it the 2019 list because it's available that year, but we believe since the seeds were collected in 2018, that you're reflecting the offering of seeds from the previous year.
Okay, yeah. So that's sort of a debate that probably will carry on forever, whether you prefer to have it the year you make the seeds available or whether the year that you collected it. I think a lot of gardens do the latter. They use the year they were going to offer the seeds, but that's another story. So you prepare the catalog, then you go in and record the stock items that either are from accession material or you just record the entries manually, one after the other. And then when you've done that, you can then go back to your catalog and search for all the items and tick off the things you need to add to your catalog. When you're happy with your catalog, you click Finalize, and that's when you can go to the report and print the catalog. And then orders will come flooding in either through the website or through other means where you then will record the orders here.
Right. You can still print a PDF or document and print it out and put it in the mail. You can email the document to your contacts however you wish to distribute. Yep.
Great. So any more sort of final comment regarding the Index Seminum, Greg, before we say goodbye to everybody?
I think that covers it pretty well.
Yep. Okay. So if you have questions, we have a webinar first Thursday of the month. Look on our website for that. Also, the user forum can be used if you have questions regarding this and any other things. Thank you very much for following along, and look forward to hearing how you get on. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.